Hello everyone, this is Matt from Real World Review, and today we're going to be replacing the front screen on the Google Pixel 7 Pro. Just a note, the screen that I have comes with the frame, and I highly recommend that. It doesn't matter if it has a fingerprint scanner or not, but I do recommend having it with the frame, because that's how we're going to replace it. So the tools you're going to need are going to be a razor blade, a plastic pick, a playing card, and some heat. You'll also need some glue, as well as some clamps. So the first thing we're going to do is just heat up the edges. This isn't entirely needed because the adhesive that they put on this is kind of weak. But pretty much what we're going to do is just heat up the edges a little bit, and then we're going to get a razor blade and make sure to get under the screen, but also under that frame. If you're trying to preserve the OLED, you're most likely going to break it, so I wouldn't really worry about that. But pretty much what we're going to do is we're going to use that razor blade to get under the frame, and then we're going to grab the pick to cut through the adhesive that goes around the screen and the frame. You could do this carefully, or you can do this like I was doing it. But pretty much what you want to do is you want to go down the right side and then cut through the bottom side, but then also make sure to cut through the top as well. The last thing we're going to do is cut through the left side, and then once we loosen up all the adhesive, it's going to lift over to the left. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to carefully remove this little metal panel like this. I recommend starting with the top, and then it kind of just lifts up like this. You may bend it, but you can just bend it back and everything should be fine. The next thing I'm going to do is going to remove the screen. I recommend going on the left side or just being careful and removing it on either side. For me, I just rip this off, but I want to show you a way that's not going to always damage the phone. The next thing that we're going to do is remove all this adhesive. It is a little bit different from the Pixel 7 and the Pixel 6, and it's pretty much the same as the Pixel 6 Pro, how it kind of just comes off. It's not really stuck on there. Next thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this little front camera thing, and we're just going to set it in the phone like this. And then of course, we have to move over the fingerprint scanner. Now, I generally have terrible luck with reprogramming these, so I highly recommend just trying to move this one over. The next thing we're going to do is we're going to unplug the fingerprint scanner and lift out this little cable like this, just the plug area, not the whole thing. And then we're going to carefully use a razor blade to get under this cable right here and lightly lift up this adhesive. We're not going to pull the whole thing off first. We're going to add some more heat so then we can take that off. So I recommend heating the outside for a little bit, and then when you flip it over, heat up the fingerprint scanner area as well. You can see it gets pretty hot, so what I recommend is using a playing card to kind of cut through the adhesive, but also being very careful not to cut the fingerprint scanner. Also, there is a sensor on there that you don't want to break, so you want to cut through the edges, not through the middle. And once we loosen up the adhesive on the edges, we want to add some more heat, and we want to carefully twist and lift up this cable, just being very careful not to bend it, because if you bend it, you'll break the sensor and then no more fingerprint scanner. And if this adhesive doesn't move over, you can put it onto the fingerprint scanner. It's not the end of the world, but it's definitely better than trying to put your own adhesive on this area. But either way, we're gonna get this set up and we're gonna plug in the little cable like this. We're gonna straighten it out, and it should just straighten out the fingerprint scanner how it's supposed to be. Next, what we're gonna do is we're gonna plug in the screen, and then we're gonna just test it to make sure that it's working. And it seems to be working fine. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna turn off the phone, we're gonna put this little metal piece back in, and then we're gonna start adding the adhesive. So pretty much what you wanna do is put glue all around the edges, making sure not to get it into the front camera area as well as the speaker area. Then what we're going to do is we're going to put clamps all around the edges. So I recommend using 3 on each side if you have clamps like this. If you have weaker clamps, maybe go with 5. Then what we're going to do is let this sit for about an hour and a half, maybe 2 hours, and then we can take off these clamps and get rid of any adhesive that kind of leaked out. And that's it. Hopefully this video helped you out. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. And as always, thanks for watching.